Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to make the very scrumptious tiramisu. So come on, let's get going. Alright, so first we're going to make our dip that we're going to dip our lady fingers in. And then this just calls for 1.5 cups of hot water, 1/4 cup of regular sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of instant coffee. I'm using espresso. And 1.5 ounces of kahlua. Let's see. You can also use a white rum for this. I just like mine a little bit more on the coffee side because I am a coffee lover, but if you prefer yours to have a little bit less of a coffee flavor, then just use the white rum. And then we're just gonna mix this up. So all the instant coffee and sugar are dissolved. And then we don't want this to be hot. We want it to be room temperature. So we're just gonna leave this to the side while we create the cream for our tiramisu layers. So let's just set this to the side and we will start on that cream for the tiramisu layers. So for the next step, we are going to create a double boiler. I have water on my stove. We need the water to boil and steam up, and then this is going to sit on top of the pan, not touching the water, but the steam will come up and create a warm, it'll like warm up the bowl, and that kind of cooks the eggs that we're going to stick into here, which is a double boiler. So we're going to add in 3/4 cup of sugar, and all we want in here are our egg yolks, and we need 6 of them. So let's crack those separate. So we have our egg yolks in our sugar here, and I'm going to whisk this until it gets like a really nice light color. All right, so it should look like that, a nice pale yellow color. And now we're going to go stick it on our double boiler. So my pot is just about to start boiling. We really don't want it to be at a boil because we just want the steam that's coming up. So I'm going to turn this down, and then you just put this right on top of here. And it's not sitting in the water, but the steam will build up and start kind of cooking these eggs a little bit. And we want this to be a really pale yellow, and we want to not have, you know, it's really hard to tell, but there's a lot of grains because you can see the sugar. I'm gonna touch it, and you can see the grains from the sugar. And we want it to be a little bit smoother than that. So don't neglect this because you'll end up cooking your egg. So make sure that you're constantly doing this. Okay, so this is getting nice and light, and it's getting a little bit on the thicker side. So I'm gonna add in 2 ounces of my kahlua right into this. Just stir it up. We want this to thicken a little bit more again. All right, so this is getting, it's not like super thick, but when I test it, I don't feel any sugar grains, which means it's done. So let's take it off this, and we're gonna go throw it into our next dish. So in here I have 1.5 cups of mascarpone cheese, which I've kind of just, stir it up a little bit just to break it up some, and be very careful because our dish is still hot from coming off the oven or off the stove, but we're gonna just dump this right in here and whisk it up very slowly. Okay, and we want to get it all whisked so there's no clumps in it. So now we're gonna make some whipped cream, and what I did is I put my bowl and my whisk into the freezer for a little while, and that just helps the cream set up a little faster. So we're just going to put in 1 cup of cream. This is heavy whipping cream. And then we're just going to whip it. All right, so we're almost through with this. I'm just going to throw in a little bit of vanilla. You can throw it in at the beginning. I just happened to forget. So I'm going to throw it in now. No big deal. And we're going to whisk it back up again. This is almost where I want it. It's not quite the thick peaks that I'm looking for. Nice and thick, it's staying on there, so that's good. And then we're just gonna fold the whipped cream into our egg mixture here. Now this is not traditional tiramisu. Traditional tiramisu, I don't believe, has any heavy cream, but this is the way I've been always making it, and I like it this way. So we're just gonna add in a little bit of cream at a time and just slowly mix it in, kind of do a folding motion. Okay, and there we have it. It's a nice mousse-like. All right, so these are my lady fingers. I got them at my local store, and they usually come in individual packages like this. And this is what we're going to use to dip into our coffee mixture that we had made earlier. And so we're just gonna do a layer. We're gonna take the lady fingers, dip them in, turn them, take them out, and just set them in our pan. And we're gonna make a nice layer. Then we're gonna fill it up with cream, and then we're gonna do another layer of lady fingers and another layer of cream. So I will show you how to go with that. Okay, so there's a sugar side and there's a non-sugar side. I like to dip it sugar side first, and then just flip it over and kind of make sure they're in there long enough to not get soggy and fall apart, but to soak up stuff. And we're just gonna lay it in here and just repeat. And these will absorb and become nice and soft. All right, and the final step is just a quick dusting of cocoa powder on the top, and then we are done. Okay, and then we're gonna put this in the refrigerator, and it should set up. I mean, this will be best if we eat it the next day, but if you let it set up for at least 4 to 6 hours, it should be good. And that's all there is to it. Normally I would put this in a clear container so you can see all the nice pretty layers, but this is gonna go off to a friend, so it's going in a disposable container. All right, everybody, that was my quick and easy tiramisu recipe. If you want to see more recipes just like this one, please like and subscribe below. Have a great day.